Hey guys, Faye here and welcome back to our channel. This month is November and you know what that means? Yeah, of course you do. It means there's Halloween and spirits and stuff. Today's topic is about horror films. The question is, what are horror films? So, a horror film is one that elects fear from its audiences. Because, you know, other people poke fun at other people's fears. Well, I'm one of those people. I love watching my friends, especially my best friends, get scared and all that. Anyway, back to the topic. Horror films additionally aim to evoke viewers' nightmares, fears, revolution or terror of the unknown, and macabre. It's fancy. Macabre. Some people may not know what macabre is. Well, in works of arts means having the quality of having a grim or ghastly atmosphere. Horror works to emphasize the details and symbols of death. Let's go to the question of who invented the horror genre, or like who discovered it. Found out that Horace Walpole was the one who invented the horror genre. I love watching horror movies, especially with my friends when we're at our sleepover. We love watching horror movies. But the one horror movie that I can't help but to be surprised every time I see it is The Conjuring. Yeah, that movie. I still get scared of it. And that one movie, Hereditary. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's really cool. To be based on true story. Yeah, I hope you guys learned a thing or two about horror. No. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about horror genres. Bye!
A crossover release in US cinemas between 1996 to 2016, horror movies appeared to have the highest chance of making compared to movies within other genres. I estimate that over this period, 53% of horror movies released theatrically were likely to have generated profit. This compares with the industry average of 37 across all genres, and dramatically outperforms westerns, 16% of which are likely to have been profitable. Black comedies has 28%, drama has 31%, and thrillers has 30%.
The plot of Insidious 3. For psychologist Dr. Ellis Rayner has nightmare with her childhood in New Mexico, where she lived with her brother Christian, her supportive mother Audrey, and her father Gerald, who frequently beats her when she claims that she sees ghosts everywhere in the house. When the client Ted Garza calls Ellis to ask for help, since he is haunted since he moved to a house in New Mexico, Ellis refuses the request since the address is the same house where she spent her childhood. However, she changes her mind and accepts the job, and travels with her assistants Specs and Tucker to New Mexico, where they will discover an evil entity in the house. The plot of Pet Sematary 2019. Based on the seminal horror novel by Stephen King, Pet Sematary follows Dr. Louis Creed, who, after relocating with his wife Rachel and their two young children from Boston to rural Maine, discovers a mysterious burial ground hidden deep in the woods near the family's new home. When tragedy strikes, Louis turns to his unusual neighbor, Jude Crandall, setting off a perilous chain reaction that unleashes an unfathomable evil with horrific consequences. The plot of the Nun 2018 horror movie. When a young nun at a cloistered abbey in Romania takes her own life, a priest with a haunted past and a novitiate on the threshold of her final vows are sent by the Vatican to investigate. Together, they uncover the order's unholy secret, risking not only their lives, but their faith and their very souls. They confront a malevolent force in the form of the same demonic nun that first terrorized audiences in The Conjuring 2, as the abbey becomes a horrific battleground between the living and the damned. The plot of Annabelle Comes Home 2019. It's a horror movie. So, determined to keep Annabelle from wreaking more havoc, demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren bring the possessed doll to the locked artifacts room in their home, placing her safely behind sacred glass and enlisting a priest's holy blessings. But an unholy night of horror awaits as Annabelle awakens the evil spirits in the room, who all set their sights on a new target, the Warrens' 10-year-old daughter Judy and her friends. That's all. Thank you.
What is comedy genre?
Comedy is a literary genre and a type of dramatic work that is amusing and satirical in its tone, mostly having a cheerful ending. The motive of this dramatic work is triumph over unpleasant circumstances by creating comic effects, resulting in a happy or successful conclusion. Thus, the purpose of this comedy is to amuse the audience. Comedy has multiple subgenres, depending upon the source of the humor, context in which an author delivers dialogues, a delivery methods. Tragedy is opposite to comedy, as tragedy deals with sorrowful and tragic events in a story.
Types of comedy in film and TV shows.
Blue comedy. Movies like The 40-Year-Old Virgin and the TV shows like You're the Worst live in the dirty comedy space. They love jokes about sex, relationships, and gross out humor. Part of it works is that it makes us uncomfortable. Part of how it works is that bodily functions and desires are a great equalizer. The Fairley brothers are masters of this type of thing. In this case, combining sex and gross out humor into one timeless gag. Dark comedy deals with disturbing subjects such as death, drugs, terrorism, rape, and war. Can sometimes be related to the horror movie genre. Deadpan comedy.
A comedy film is a category of film in which the main emphasis is on humor. These films are designed to make the audience laugh through amusement and the most often work by exaggerating characteristics for humorous effect. Films in this style traditionally have a happy ending. It is a professional entertainment consisting of jokes and satirical sketches. Intended to make an audience laugh, some of the Filipino comedy genre movies are Vice Ganda's movies, such as Fantastica, The More the Merrier, and Ganda Rapido, The Revenge Squad. In Fantastica, the movie was about the proprietor of a struggling carnival must help a prince find 3 lost princesses. The movie was released last December 25, 2018. The More the Merrier, on the other hand, is a 2019 Philippine musical family comedy film directed by Barry Gonzalez and starring Vice Ganda and Ann Curtis. The movie is about 2 siblings fight for ownership of their parents' mall. The movie was released last December 25, 2019. Lastly is Ganda Rapido The Revenger Squad. Ganda Rapido The Revenger Squad is a 2017 Philippine action comedy superhero film directed by Joyce Bernal and starred by Vice Ganda, Daniel Padilla, and Pia Worksback. The story is about 3 friends trying to protect what is most precious to them. The movie was released last December 25, 2017.
Hello everyone, I am April Leon Kalakar. 5 months ago, I had in mind of being so bored, staying at home due to this pandemic. To tell you the truth, I miss on going out for a movie. Why do I tell you things like this? It's because I will be presenting to you the best-selling movies of all times. Yes, they are indeed the best movies based on the response of the viewers. I will give you the top 10 best comedy films. Here they are. Number 1, Incredibles 2. This is all about entrusted with a task to restore public faith in superheroes. Helen sets off on a mission to catch a supervillain, while Bob faces the challenges of stay-at-home parenting. Number 2, Minions. Minions is a 2015 American 3D computer animated comedy film, serving as a spin-off prequel to the Despicable Me franchise. Gru meets his long-lost twin brother Drew after getting fired from anti-villain League. However, the siblings find themselves at loggerheads with a child actor turned villain. Number 4, Despicable Me 2. This is all about when a new criminal comes to town. The anti-villain League decides to hire Gru in order to fight him off. While Gru initially refuses, he eventually agrees after his aide goes back to his evil ways. Number 5, Shrek 2. This is all about when Shrek and Fiona return from their honeymoon. Her parents, the rulers of far, far away, invite them over, but as the king does not like Shrek, he enlists a fairy to keep him away from his daughter. Number 6, The Secret of Life of Pets. This is all about Max, a pet dog, is not very pleased when his master brings home another dog named Duke. However, they set aside their differences after they learn their owner is in danger. Number 7, Shrek the Third. This is all about after Shrek's father-in-law, King Harold, becomes sick. Shrek is the next in line to take over. However, he tries to make are tied, the king and takes help from donkey and puss in boots. Number 8. Deadpool 2. This is all about Deadpool protects a young mutant, Russell, from the authorities and gets thrown in prison. However, he escapes and forms a team of mutants to prevent a time-traveling mercenary from killing Russell. Number 9. Deadpool. Deadpool is all about Wade Wilson or Ryan Reynolds is a former Special Forces operative who now works as a mercenary. His world comes crashing down when evil scientist Ajax or Ed Skrein tortures, disfigures, and transforms him into Deadpool. The rogue experiment leaves Deadpool with accelerated healing powers and a twisted sense of humor. With help from mutant Alice, Colossus, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead or Brianna Hildebrand, Deadpool uses his new skills to hunt down the man who nearly destroyed his life. Number 10. Shrek Forever After. This is all about when Shrek realizes that no one fears him. Rumple offers him a shady deal. Thereafter, Shrek gets cast in an alternate reality where everybody is afraid of him, but Fiona does not remember him. Those comedy films grossed $1 billion. That's why they are considered as the best-selling comedy films. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and see you guys on our next vlog. Bye!
So now, let's go to the exciting part, which is the To summarize things, horror movie is a genre that evokes fear and thrilling. Meanwhile, comedy genre evokes laughter, and they too are both very different genres that evoke very different emotions from viewers. And they are very different from each other, of course. So previously, we've talked about what is a horror film or genre, what is the horror film's rank on between other genres, what is the best or honorable mentions of horror movies in the year 2018 to 2020. Then comedy film, what is it? Then its rank on between other genres, and lastly, honorable mentions of comedy film. One can excite you and one can make you laugh all over and spill your popcorn, whether you have popcorn. So, the question that is always asked is, what is better, horror movies or the comedy genre? Well, in my opinion, I like horror movies more than comedies because I really don't watch comedies, and whenever I watch a horror movie, I lack the emotion of fear because I'm not really that fearful of horror movies, but I really love them. I love watching them, of course. Meanwhile, I don't really watch comedies because it's not my thing. I'm not a fan of it. And really, the answer to horror movies versus comedies is that it's on the people, it's on the viewers. It depends on the viewers on how they want their emotions. Like, it's on the viewers. It depends on the people that watch the movie if they like horror movies or comedy films, because at the end of the day, it's the people that matters, it's the viewers that matters. So we conclude that the winner for horror movies versus comedy movies is Now, you might be asking, what? Horror comedy films? Is that even a thing? Well, fortunately, it is. It is a very, very real thing. Horror movies and comedies have been crossed, or they have been crossed. So, there are films that are called horror comedies. The Scary Movie of 2000. Another one is Beetlejuice. Lastly is Zombieland and Zombieland Double Tap. So, these horror comedy film or genre leans more on the comedy side more than the horror, but the theme is horror, though it has comedy in it. It's mainly a comedy film, but it has also a touch of horror. So we conclude that the winner of horror versus comedy is horror comedy film.